and welcome to My Xbox and Me, episode 445. I am one of your hosts, MC Fixer, alongside the one and only Too Fresh Crash. Crash, how are you?
I'm doing good. Something that feels off because we started off the year really strong for some reason, and there was something that said that was gonna be consistent, and it's just like missing, and I can't put my finger on it.
Oh, you're talking about the one and only Matt P video. Yeah, that silence is
Yeah.
podcasting. That's because Matt. Do you know what? Matt this week has just ghosted us all.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he hasn't even responded. We don't even know. We put in the group the time that we podcast. We podcast the same time every week from now on to make things easier for everyone. And I put a little, yo, everyone good? A little thumbs up from Despawn, which, don't get me wrong, I don't love it. I like a confirmation.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. I'm here, sir.
Crash. And then Matt got nothing.
To be fair, last week Matt asked, I think on Sunday or something like that, "Hey boys, what time are we recording the podcast?"
It's just sort of become a running joke. Obviously, we have the one and only Mr. Paul Despawn with us. How are you, Paul?
I'm good. I'm enjoying a week off the day job, which is nice. I feel like I've spent more time off work than I have on work this year, and I'm loving it.
It's your birthday coming up.
It is my birthday week, yes. It is officially my birthday as of recording next Monday.
I was going to say, not your birthday week then, my friend. That's not how weeks work. Just want you to know.
I'm celebrating from Tuesday to Tuesday, right?
Even if you want to be liberal with it, the week starts either on a Sunday or a Monday, but it's not your birthday week. I just want you to know.
I mean, it might start for you that way, but you know, I count my weeks from when I record the podcast, so it starts Tuesday to Tuesday.
That's fair. Yo, he got you.
Oh, that makes a lot of sense.
The week ends on a Monday.
The weekend's on a Monday, yeah.
Okay. So your boss will be seeing you in on Saturdays and Sundays from now on, yeah?
So how are you, Fix?
I'm good. This is My Xbox and Me, our weekly Xbox podcast, right here on youtube.com/myxboxandme and all podcast services. If you want the show early, head over to patreon.com/MCFixer. You can also watch us live as we record it. We are live as we speak for YouTube members at the My Xbox and Me fan club membership or the Patreon tier of the My Xbox and Me and above that. Don't forget, live streams every Wednesday, Thursday, Saturday.
Yeah.
We've already got off to a shaky start on the live streams. It's okay. We'll come back stronger this week, which of course we will, because we'll be doing a live reaction on Thursday. I think it's 8 p.m. GMT. I don't know what time it is American. I'm sorry.
It would be 3 p.m. EST and then 12 PST, 12 p.m.
Okay. I guess this podcast will go out early then this week. I guess we'll put it out on Thursday.
Okay.
Instead of Friday, just because. Makes sense. Make sure you subscribe on the YouTube channel and follow over on Twitch, twitch.tv/myxboxandme if you haven't already. Shout out to our Patreon producer, Aaron God. As per usual, we appreciate you, sir. Topic of the show this week. It's a spicy one. I'm going to be honest with you. Gears of War. Do not be confused with the Gears series. Gears of War. Collection being tested now. It's claimed. This was taken from Inside Gaming. According to Middle-Aged Gamer, or Gamey, the Gears collection is being internally tested by the Correlation. The build is finished, and the game testers are currently playing it now. Also, the Correlation is working on a new IP. It's still being worked on, and Ninja Theory is still working on Project Mara. So we got a little bit, I say a little bit, it's quite a lot of actual Xbox news here, to be honest, boys. Let's start with the big thing, in my opinion, which is a Gears of War collection. Kresh, I would be safe to assume that this would include 1, 2, and 3, right?
Yeah, at minimum, I would think. If you're doing a collection 1, 2, and 3, anything more than that, a little bit of an extra stretch. I think the only one that I would say maybe you can make an argument for is Judgment, but I feel like everyone wants to forget Judgment exists, so
Yeah,
I don't think so.
No thanks. We don't want Judgment. Nobody wants Judgment. Let's not kid ourselves. Let's not kid ourselves. You I don't know about you, Despawn. I'll have to ask you in a second. But Crash, you are probably the second biggest Gears of War fan on this podcast.
Second, okay, yeah, sure.
But you're gonna say you're a bigger Gears of War fan than me?
I'm no doubt a bigger Gears of War fan than you.
Okay.
You called the Locust aliens. We can start there. We can end there. The conversation's over. We can move on.
He's got you.
You know what? That was an ace in tennis terms. I'm watching Breakpoint at the moment on Netflix, so that's all my references for the rest of the podcast are going to be tennis based. That was an ace from you, sir. I agree. You're right.
Yeah.
You're right. I got my monsters and my lizards mixed up, and that's on me.
Yeah.
That's on me. That's on me. Are you excited for a Gears of War collection?
Yeah, the collection is supposed to be, it's rumored, I guess, because nothing's confirmed right now, to be done in Unreal Engine 5.
Yep.
I'm curious what it means exactly, because a collection is a very loose term, and it being done in Unreal Engine 5 makes it even more confusing. Like, what significance does that have? Is they just
remake, right?
Depends.
Right?
Because I've seen people calling it the Master Chief Collection, right?
Okay. I shot the thumbnail for this, not thinking about it like that. If you're telling me this is the Gears collection in the exact same style as the Master Chief Collection, now I'm excited. That gets me going. I'll be honest with you. Desmond, where did you come down on Gears out of interest? Are you a Gears fan? Are you not a Gears fan?
Well, I don't think I've ever called them aliens, so I already think I'm a bigger fan than you. No, I don't think I've ever called them lizards either. But no, I am a huge Gears fan. To the point that I think the first charity stream I ever did back in the day, I did a 24-hour stream where I played the entire Gears series in one go. Wow. God, that was such a fun time. And yeah, some of the best memories I've got is me and my old housemate playing through the entire Gears game co-op. All of the original trilogy. Such a big fan. I am super excited for this. I think for the exact same reason you've said there, if it is going to be what is rumored and what we think it's going to be the entire Gears series migrated to Unreal 5 with all of the bells and whistles that the Halo Master Chief Collection got. So all of the multiplayer maps, up-res graphics, just everything that you want from a modern day, like... Again, I don't know if it's going to be a remaster or a remake. I think it's going to be like a kind of upscale collection. Yeah. Just moving engines so it can run better and on more modern consoles. I'm excited for that. Like, super excited. To be fair, if they went full remake and did the entire trilogy again, I'd be okay with that too. But, like, yeah, I would totally be happy with a Master Chief Collection-esque, like, up-res of, like, maybe the first game and the second game and then just, like, a bit of a kind of, like, like a bit of a spit shine on the later series. But, yeah, no, I'm super excited. Can't wait.
Interesting. Yeah, I don't know. If it's just a basic port, I'm not interested. We've already got that once. Like, if that's what it is. But if it is a case of Halo, like, I'm not the biggest Halo guy. You already know that. But like the Master Chief Collection is such a fantastic collection of games. Like, the way they made that collection is ridiculous.
I think you have the benefit of like the upscaling and graphics for the Master Chief Collection, the ease of transition to like see the old version and the new version as well, which I don't think.
I want that.
I don't think they need that.
I want that. I
don't think they need that. I think the more interesting point to talk about is multiplayer. Because Master Chief Collection lets you play multiplayer and you can queue up for a mode and it'll randomly let you load into all three, or I think Halo Reach might be included now as well. I'm not 100% sure about that. I haven't kept up with Master Chief Collection. Would Gears of War do that, where you can load up and you might get a Gears 1 match, or you might get a Gears 2 match, or a Gears 3 match, like that. Where...
Yeah, just like a playlist of everything. Or you could specify, like, I just want to do Gears 1 maps. I just want to do Gears 2 maps.
Wingman. Just give me Wingman.
Oh, dude. This is the last chance we get Wingman. There's no shot we ever get Wingman in another Gears of War game.
Nope.
They have to like revisit it in a past game, right?
Gears 6 drops, and they talk about the multiplayer, and they're like, and here's
Wingman?
wingman mode.
Yeah. Me and Joe doing a 12-hour stream on the My Xbox and Me channel.
That'd be crazy. That'd be crazy. I haven't
It would
lie,
be.
That'd be nuts. That'd be nuts. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited for this. I just apprehensive as well, I guess, would be the best word for it. Is as always, it just hasn't got the following that I think it deserves. Gears of War never got it. Don't get me wrong. I think Gears 1 and 2 were big. Gears 3 was big, but in different ways. And then the later games are probably the best Gears games we've gotten, but I don't think they've latched onto that audience of people that don't play on Xbox. You know, like Uncharted drops, right? And everyone goes and plays Uncharted. Last of Us drops. People go and buy a PlayStation just to play Last of Us. I don't feel like Gears has ever got that love.
I think to the detriment of Gears, you have the big benefit of Uncharted is Uncharted's notoriously like a single player game, right? Uncharted's had multiplayer games, but the multiplayer stuff's always been side content. With the era that Gears of War came out, Gears of War is notoriously a multiplayer game. Fantastic single player, fantastic co-op experiences. It's still known as a multiplayer game for the most part, right?
Yeah.
And on top of just being a multiplayer game, it is also an incredibly difficult multiplayer game. High skill floor, high skill ceiling, right? And then you also have the added fact of the later series. Judgment kind of ruins some of the relationship with the core fan base. That kind of like takes it down a bit. And then you have the later series launching with Xbox when it's probably at its lowest, right? And so all those add together to just sort of like push down what I do think is probably one of Xbox's best franchises, if not best like long-term franchise, right?
That seems like a conversation we should definitely have at some point.
Yeah. That's fair.
Maybe.
That's
Who knows? Give me it. Do you know what? I've come around on the idea. I'll take it.
I don't think there's anything wrong with doing this, right?
No.
Will it be what I want exactly? That's a completely different conversation to have.
There's nothing wrong with doing it if they do it right. That's the main thing, right? As long as it isn't a cash grab and it isn't as long as Gear 6 isn't in 3 years' time, and this is a tide you over thing, and it's like, no, I want Gear 6. I don't want this to be a game that they expect us to live in for 3 years while we wait for the next Gears. I don't think Gear 6 is that far off, if I'm being totally honest. But it is interesting timing for this to come out. Because when Master Chief Collection came out, did that release around the Halo game, or was that to tide people over?
That is a
good
question.
I
mean, I can look it up while you guys discuss, but
I'm guessing. Hey, I'm guessing because we got Poncho Chief, and then Collection come out in between that,
and then
right?
Halo 4, so it would have been a tiding.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. With this, I'm like, have they slipped internally? Have things gone?
First of all,
not gone right. You know,
we haven't gotten a release date for Gear 6 at all.
No.
Right?
No.
So to make the argument that stuff slipped, I think is a little bit of a stretch. I think there's just a possibility that Gear 6 is 3 years away. And they just wanted to put this game, and they have a different or smaller team or whatever the case is working on this.
Yeah, just to give you guys a bit of an update, just to let you know where we're at. Halo 4 launched in 2012.
Okay.
The Master Chief Collection launched in 2014. And then Halo 5 launched in 2015. So there was a year wait. So I could do a year. Hey, if I've got a year of Gears multiplayer maps to play in Unreal 5, I think I'll be all right. Yeah.
A year of Wingman, I'm in.
A year of Wingman.
A year of Wingman, I'm in. That gets me excited. That gets me real excited. Fresh. Any podcast reviews? You got anything over in the US?
No reviews. I checked before while I was doing show notes.
Unacceptable.
Let me check. I'm on UK. Please don't do this to me. We need this. We need this.
Fix is moving. He needs the help, just to make you feel a bit better.
So for anyone watching the video version of this week's podcast, my background might look a bit bare and empty. I am still in the middle of a move. I thought last week would be the last time we did the podcast. Technically, it could have, but I just didn't have a setup properly put there. So It might be a little bit more echoey in here and things like that, but we should be good. No podcast reviews on our side either, unfortunately.
Boo. I'm gonna have to go out and kick somebody's nan out.
Yeah.
Someone's nan's getting kicked down the stairs, and it sure as hell isn't mine. All right, so stay away from my nan. All right, topic of the show. No, this week's dashboard. First piece of news: we finally have a release date, a new release date for Stalker 2. It will be releasing on September 5th, 2024. This is a game that people have been waiting for a while, right, Despawn?
Yes, me being one of them. I am very excited for this one.
Did you play the original?
No, but everything I've seen of the new one is just like, this looks like my kind of game. It's like almost more like, well, it is definitely. It's a super serious, like Fallout-esque, super realistic gunplay. Some of the enemy elements are gory as hell, and I love that. But yeah, no, I'm super excited for this, and I'm excited now that we've got a release date. And obviously, for those that don't know, there was a lot of issues with the studio. Obviously, they were based in the Ukraine, so they had to move mid-development. So hopefully everything is on track now. Like I said, there was a delay. Now we've got a new date. I'm excited.
Yeah, I remember what they showed the Stalker 2 early on, and I was like, oh, this looks like a me game. Like, this definitely looks like a me game. It reminded me a lot of Metro as well. In a way, that same sort of style of game. And again, never played the original, so don't have that experience to go off of. But everything they've shown of this game screams to me that I will enjoy it. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to this, and I'm happy it's finally got a set release date, September 5th. Don't know what else is coming down. Early September, probably not too much. Early September, late September, definitely there'll be stuff. But good for them to get their flag planted into the ground and setting their dates, which is good. Chris, you excited for this one?
I'm interested. I don't know if I'd say excited. This doesn't feel like my sort of vibe. I think the last time I saw a vibe like this and I got into it was Metro, and then I played it and I'm like 100% just not a me game.
Yeah.
So I look at this and I'm like, I'm interested. I could definitely see myself enjoying it a lot, but I think overall probably not for me.
Fair enough. Yeah, probably this will be a stream game for me. I feel like I'll stream this and play it through from start to finish.
Do you guys think this shows up after tomorrow at the developer direct? No.
Nope.
Do you think this causes Microsoft to move around releases possibly?
Nope.
No.
No. I think Microsoft will be well aware of this date coming. The fact that it's coming to Game Pass day one, we already knew that. So yeah, Microsoft will have been kept up to date, saying, "Yeah, we're going to be releasing on this date now." So they will have been able to plan in advance.
This is, correct me if I'm wrong, this is an Xbox exclusive.
I
know
believe
it's on Game Pass. I don't think it's exclusive.
It's according to like what I'm looking at right now, it looks like it's exclusive. Yeah.
Okay.
I could have sworn like the big thing when it
come to
announced it was like a timed exclusive.
Yeah.
Was
Tell
when
you
it,
what,
when it was announced.
It was announced a really long time ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And stuff changes, to be fair.
Yeah, things change. Obviously, like say we mentioned the issues that they've had with the studio. So, but yeah, no, like if this is still going to be an exclusive, like it's a good get by the look of everything we've seen so far of this game.
Yeah, I look forward to getting my hands on it. That's the main thing. I really do. Next up, new Elden Ring DLC list in hints Steam backend suggesting Shadow of the Erdtree. Thank you. Release date may be imminent. Fresh, you're the Elden Ring guy. Talk to me, baby. What's going on with Elden Ring? Are you excited? Where's Matt P when we need him?
I know. Matt P gave us an update. I don't know if you saw. He's sick with the flu still.
Oh, okay.
So yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm so excited. So there was a rumor with I think a controller company or something like that that leaked the game's possibly coming out in February, and now the back end DLC page on Steam got updated, which generally happens around release, which just everything's slowly starting to line up to possibly seeing Elden Ring next month, which would be pretty crazy kind of to make a fantastic start to the 2024 year, right?
Can't
You-
wait for this to win my Xbox and me's Game of the Year because Crash has played every single game on the list and puts it in his number one.
wait, we're not doing it.
We're not doing that
That's a
this week.
conversation for a different day.
Save that for
Conversation
save that for
different day.
extra.
Yeah, save that for
maybe,
extra.
Maybe. So do you reckon you're gonna have to have beaten the original game to play this? You imagine so, right?
I don't. I'm pretty sure with past Souls games expansions, somebody will have to correct me if I'm wrong. You don't have to beat the games. You have to get to a certain point that'll unlock the expansion or the DLC. So I assume it's probably not a full playthrough, and because of the way the game works with it being open world, you might even be able to just like run in there right away. Probably not advised, but you never know.
Yeah.
I mean, if we're
I
being
don't know,
honest, it's an Elden Ring game. It's not advised to run anywhere in that game.
True.
Just
I mean,
stay,
you can ride the horse places.
just stay in the first location and just stay out of the way.
Don't every time you load up the game, you just walk in that little circle, rest
Yeah,
up,
yeah.
and kill the little monsters over
That's
and
it.
over
Yeah,
again.
yeah. Just stay there. Get to level 100 doing that.
That's
Yeah.
literally how it got Game of the Year for me one year. Remember? Just
That's
stayed in that little area.
wild.
Literally.
Fix,
Nah,
you know, Fix gave me a lot of shit for this. He gave Elden Ring was it your number one game that year?
No.
It was number
It was
three.
I think it was like number 4.
Yeah, that's crazy still.
I really I wish I had the patience for these kind of games because that early few hours of like running around the world was so good. Like just
Yeah.
finding little secrets and coming up against new enemies and just it was so good. But then with every Souls game I hit a wall and I'm like,
Of a boss.
this is bullshit. I'm out. I'm done. For me, it was the library.
Okay. Okay.
Just
Interesting.
that like I got to the end boss and I think after a couple of times I was like, yeah, I'm done with this. And then there was some. I think what happened is I got to that, hit a wall, went right. I'm gonna go somewhere else, and
then
then
hit another
straight away
wall.
ran in and hit another wall. Well, this is bullshit. I'm out. I'm done. See ya.
There's too many walls in this game.
Too many
I don't
walls.
like walls.
I just want a path. Just give me
Yeah.
one path is all I need. But yeah, so
Walls.
Do you think this possibly? We clearly haven't seen anything, but do you think it possibly pulls either of you back in?
No chance.
Try it again.
No.
No chance. No chance.
That's fair.
I'm not spending more money on a Souls game. I'm done. If it comes to Game Pass, yeah, sure. But no.
Not even.
Never gonna happen.
No. No, not this game. No.
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 Liza
Give
P
me-
DLC, yeah, but
No, even then I'd have to go back and play. I don't like jumping into DLC for games that I haven't beaten.
fair.
Doesn't matter where
fair.
it.
There's
where
a
it
reason you
lines up
dropped
in the
off.
Story. If I've dropped off, there's a reason for it. I'll be honest, like I say this all the time, like because we're in a very privileged position where we get codes. I'll buy DLC for games that I know for a fact I'll never get to just to support the developer.
Mhm.
Like I do that
Yeah.
all the time. I used to do it before I got Ubisoft games. I used to do it with UB titles all the time before I got the deluxe editions for those.
Yeah.
I remember doing that with Far Cry and things like that, where I'm like, I'm never coming back to this game, no matter how cool your DLC is. But yeah, it's I did play some Far Cry DLC not too long ago actually, and it was pretty good. But yeah. Speaking of Ubisoft, Ubisoft execs say gamers need to get comfortable not owning their games for subscription services to take off. This was taken from IGN, but it was an interview with GamesIndustry.biz, and it was the director of subscriptions at Ubisoft, Philippe, sorry, thank you,
Yes.
Tremblay.
Tremblay,
Is that
yeah.
right?
Yeah, but
Yeah, I think I got that one right. Thank you. I don't have a crystal ball, but when you look at the different subscription services that are out there, this is a quote, by the way, we've had a rapid expansion over the last couple of years, but it's still relatively small compared to other models, Tremblay said. One of the things we saw is that gamers are used to, a little bit like DVDs, having and owning their games. That's the customer shift that needs to happen. They've got comfortable not owning their CD collection or the DVD collection. That's a transformation that's been a little bit slower in games. As gamers grow comfortable in that aspect, you don't lose your progress. If you resume your game at another time, your progress file is still there. That has not been deleted. You don't lose what you've built in the game or your engagement with the game. So it's about feeling comfortable with not owning your game. End quote. Full transparency, I work for Ubisoft as a streamer, yada yada yada. You understand all that. Cool. Yeah, we're not comfortable with not owning our games because you can just take them away and we can never see them again. Like,
Yeah.
like, don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. Me personally, I don't care. I've gotten to that point in my life now, especially after this move. We literally donated all of our DVDs. I donated all of them because Haley looked at me and went, "You're keeping them to put them back in the loft. Why?" And I went, "That's a great point. Like, why do I care about these DVDs? What I have, again, I have Amazon Prime. I literally downloaded what's the one that Halo's with? Paramount Plus the other day, Apple TV, Netflix. I think I've got somebody's HBO Max login, like if I really needed it, so like and to use a VPN. Like, I don't need these DVDs anymore. It's different with games. It's very, very different with games, and that's why people are not comfortable with it, right, Crash?
Yeah. You spend upwards of like 10 hours with a game. On a movie, you watch it for like an hour and a half, 3 hours if it's like a really long movie, you know. And 3 hours is considered a really, really short game. So like I think just the attachment to games is very different. On top of, you kind of already see pushback with going just digital, just owning stuff digitally, that I don't think you necessarily saw with movies. And maybe I was too young to really be a part of that to like be aware of that conversation. I do know it happened with streaming and stuff like that, where people started saying like, "Hey, maybe not for this."
You said music, right? Streaming music.
I was saying games, not even music.
Oh, okay. Sorry,
music
gotcha.
just sort of had music transitioned effortlessly because of pirating.
Yes.
So because pirating was such a big thing with music, once Spotify came around, people were easy to jump in. That transition was super easy because people were already not paying for stuff, right? And in that view, they pay a subscription, but they're not paying for the music, right? There's still money being exchanged, et cetera, whatever that conversation is. That's for a different time. But here, like, I just don't. People are fighting tooth and nail, just not wanting to go digital right now. It's a smaller and smaller audience. Don't get me wrong, but to go to the leap to a subscription service from even digital, I think is a little bit different in that conversation.
Just. I don't love it. I don't love when these conversations happen. Because at the end of the day, I think it should be all about choice. But that's not what this executive says at all. They're not like, we want to get rid of physical or digital or whatever. That's not what this conversation is. It's about growing the subscription service market, right?
I don't think he's wrong in what he's saying at all. Like, for subscriptions to get bigger, people have to get comfortable with not owning their games. That is 100%. Like, everything he's saying is a fact. I don't think he's saying it in a sort of a derogatory way. I don't think he's trying to be negative or anything like that. He's just being a very, like, it's a matter of fact. What he says is 100% true.
Are you comfortable with not owning games?
I go digital. I already don't own games. I don't consider myself owning something I own digitally. I don't consider myself owning that game.
No, I agree. I mean, I think it's hard for, like, we've just seen Ubisoft. We're in the news for it, right? We've just seen the Crew 1 services are gone.
Yep.
They've shut down those services. So it's a case of that game ceases to exist in certain ways because the servers are gone. And I think that's what people are scared of the most, right? They're scared that they're going to lose their games, and potentially they are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The question, I mean, sorry, just to put in, I mean, the argument with those kind of conversations when it comes to those kind of games like the Crew 1, like, how old is the Crew 1? How many people are playing it? Is there that many people that are going to be that are genuinely upset that they're losing it?
Do you know what I think it is, Lewis? It's a case of, I agree with you, and you're 100% right. I think it comes down to what when you do want to just play the Crew 1, and you decide that you want to play it with some friends. And I get it. You're 100% right. There's clearly not enough people playing it to warrant the servers being kept on, especially when you've got the Crew 2 since then and the Crew Motorfest, right? There are other iterations of that game that are far superior. But if you're a car buff and that's what you're into, and you know there's only that a certain car in that game, and you want to play that game, I guess at this moment in time you can still technically play it, but you can't play it to its full extent of when you purchased it, which I think is where the conversation lies with a lot of people, right?
Yeah.
I
I think. So go ahead, Crush.
I was gonna say, I think for me, like I used to play a lot of free to play games, a lot of free to play MMOs when I was young. Most of those games don't exist. There's no way to play a game. There's nothing unless somebody decides to make um a private server or whatever. You cannot play those games. I've gotten used to that aspect that part doesn't really bother me. Like Marvel Heroes is gone. I loved Marvel Heroes. I'd love to play it again, but you just deal with it at this point. Does it suck? And I do think there is a history of gaming aspect that needs to be recognized of how these games disappear, and that's a much larger conversation because there's a lot of really old games that are almost impossible to find, or if you do find, it's just so expensive to even interact with those games at this point of time. There are conversations to have. I think the baseline of like, well, what if it happens to the game I play is just sort of not one I necessarily care for anymore personally.
I definitely think it's a thing that our generation, right, is the last that are going to care. The kids growing up right now who are just playing Fortnite, I don't think they're gonna care. They're used to moving on. I feel like the world moves on to the next thing so much faster than it had when we were kids, at least.
Yeah.
And I think that's where we're at with it, where it's like it's our generation that is still very much holding on to physical media and, you know, wanting to not be on a subscription service and things like that. So yeah.
Yeah. I think it's because we're like, I think you've said it as a perfect example. Like, we are the kind of like, we're on the cusp of the old guard per se.
Yes.
So we remember like buying our physical copies to play the game.
We remember not having internet.
Yeah, we remember not. I remember 56k modems. I remember that
Yes.
noise. It wakes me up at night. But no, that we are definitely on that. Like we've got the memory of. There are some people that have never bought a physical game, and they're hardcore gamers.
There are people that will never understand a midnight release for a game, going into a store and waiting online.
Yeah,
Like,
nowadays it's all pre-install. Just fire it up for your day one patch when you're ready to go. That's all that people are getting nowadays. And honestly, for the convenience of it all, I'm happier with that.
It's
It's
such a better experience.
It's like from the side of, like, again, we talk about the side of being a creator, but being able to just like someone send me a code and be like, here's the code, download the game, you're ready to play, you do your content. But yeah, as a consumer, just having that as well, just like, yeah, just click the buy now button and you've got the game. You don't have to go to the shop. You don't have to install the disc. You don't have to do any of that stuff. You don't have to find the disc to play it.
The thing that makes me most excited is when a game's like, it comes out on the 26th and like a week before they release the hours that it releases, and in your country or wherever you are, it's like, oh, it releases the day before at like 6 p.m. for you. That's the most exciting feeling, and I think I'd rather personally that over going to a midnight launch.
Yeah.
To bring the conversation back to subscription service, though,
Yeah.
obviously we're all subscribed to Game Pass at this moment in time, right? And I'm very comfortable in the subscription service space. If again, I grew up, we spoke about it before, I grew up very poor, and like buying games was like one of the hardest things ever for my parents, especially my mum. Like, I remember asking for certain games and they'd just be like, I can't afford 60, 70 pounds, whatever it was for a N64 cartridge at the time, or a PS1 game or whatever, right? So like, I do think the value for money is there right now with subscription services. I will say that again. Not paid to say any of this by Ubisoft, but Ubisoft Plus right now, you get the game Prince of Persia right now. You get that 3 days early. You get a certain couple of different outfits in that as well. So it's the deluxe version that you're playing. And then you've got the plethora of other games that are in that service as well. I do think there is a very good price point at the moment for subscription services. I think we are in the early infancy of it, though, because I do see a UB Plus going up in price, Game Pass going up even more than where it's at right now in price. PlayStation's version of whatever they do, I can see it all going up. Well, to a point where we're like, that's expensive, but it's worth it.
Yeah, I mean, like, PlayStation put their price up last year. Ubisoft just announced a new tiering system to theirs. So there's the Ubisoft Plus Premium, then like a classic collection. So we are starting to see those kind of changes in the pricing structure. But we get that with most things. I think we had that with music, like Spotify goes up every couple of years. They'll announce like an increase in price. Netflix just announced that their prices went up last year. I got an email last week, I think it was, from Amazon saying that Prime are now going to start introducing ads. But you can pay like a little bit extra a month to get rid of those. So we're going to start seeing this kind of push, like as the market goes towards that, like subscription being the default, we're going to start seeing them try and get as much money out of that as they can. Makes sense. Like these things don't cost nothing to run. But yeah, I think going on to like Philip's argument here, like he is completely right. If people want to get like with the future, like the future is subscriptions. I think we've talked about it, like the value you get from a subscription, like something like Game Pass is a prime example. I think like Ultimate's like £12 to £15 a month.
Yeah, $14.99
yeah.
dollars, and then I think it's like 13 or something like that pounds. So
yeah. So for what you get from that, like access to 100 plus games, you can play it on your PC, you can play it on your phone, you can play it on anything that will run a browser. Like in my instance, you can play it on your Quest. Like, so there are so many options now, and I think that's what's going to happen. I think we're going to start seeing people trying to add more value to their service. So like you said, like Ubisoft is another example. And one of these days, I'm just going to bite the bullet and get Ubisoft Plus. But the fact that they give you access to all of their DLC is something that I don't think anyone else does that. Like, you get discounts, but like, yeah. So yeah, I think. Go on.
I was just gonna say, I actually was very much contemplating getting Ubisoft Plus to try it out, just to see how the service is in comparison to Game Pass. Because like right now, my only comparison for subscription services as far as games go is Game Pass, and we've talked about how great the service of Game Pass is, but like actually going on and trying to find a game and like exploring that subscription service is kind of a little bit daunting and confusing sometimes. Not to say that it's getting better, yeah. But I like just to sort of get a peek behind the curtains for how somebody like Ubisoft does it, as opposed to something like Xbox. Because Ubisoft also doesn't have.
I'll be honest, it isn't great.
I was just gonna say
is it
maybe
just
it's better
all
because
the games.
But Ubisoft doesn't have as many games, right?
Yeah,
Xbox is doing a lot of third-party games. Ubisoft is for Ubisoft games, right?
Yeah, no, 100%. I just think it's a case of like it's sort of just like, hey, here's our catalog. Enjoy it.
Yeah.
Like it feels very much like you have everything. It's like a Steam account that has everything there.
Yeah,
that's what it feels like. It's like, oh, today I want you to play that. Install, boom, done. You know. I do think it's a good service though. I really do. I'm definitely for subscription services. I'm not about owning. So that's just me.
No. I'm very much a case of like if there's a game I really, really, really want, I'll buy it digitally. But if I'm like gonna like single player games specifically as well, like if I'm gonna play a game at launch and maybe I'll get a hankering to play it like a year, 2 years later, then if it's in a subscription, that's fine by me. But yeah, I'm totally fine with the subscription services.
I'd rather buy a statue. I'd rather buy a statue for something and have that.
You remember?
Physical...
You remember when the conversation came when they did the collector's editions that didn't come with the game copies and people got really angry at it? And now it's sort of flipping around a little bit.
Yeah.
For me, as long as the ability to buy a game doesn't go anywhere, I have no problem with it. Of course, like multiplayer games always add a confusing bit to that, because like a multiplayer game, like if they, especially now that we're on dedicated servers, the second dedicated servers go down, you can't really play the game. It's not easy to make it to a host-based game, and then you see a whole bunch of issues with host-based games like Call of Duty and stuff like that, where people just like get DDoS and stuff like that just for trying to play the game and things like that. So there's a lot of issues and complications that come with online games that eventually have to shut down nowadays, right? But overall, let me buy games, and I let the ability, because I'm cool with subscriptions. I'll buy digitally, and I've said I don't really view buying a game digitally as like I own that game. That game can be taken down whenever. I have no issues with it personally.
Something that we didn't touch on in here, I don't think I put it in one of the news stories, but I think this might be like the first nail in the coffin for actual physical editions, though, because one of the things that I saw in the news recently was a store in the UK called Game, who are like the biggest high street retailer. Like they're basically your GameStop in the US. They are no longer taking on trading for physical games anymore. So there'll be no pre-owned games market in like one of the biggest high street stores.
I mean, that has a couple of different things going, right? Big push to digital, also a bigger push to PC. Like PC gaming has become more of a thing, especially with younger people. And
Dude, just the amount of kids that I hear now, they're like, they don't ask for a PlayStation or an Xbox or a
PC.
Switch.
They're asking for a
They ask
$49.
for a PC.
yeah,
Dude,
so
like they are. That's what they're asking for. And I'm like, hey,
So
that's crazy.
You've got to think, like, 90% of the games that you want to play will be available on PC. The only ones that won't be are PS exclusives, which are usually now it seems. I don't know what it's going to be.
PC now, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna say I don't know what it's going to be like now with the new head of PlayStation when he comes on board fully after Jim Ryan leaves. But like you're like a year out from a PlayStation exclusive being on PC. We had it with God of War. We had it with Horizon. We had it with Last of Us. Wasn't
where's
a great port.
Bloodborne?
Bloodborne's never coming. You're never getting that. You're never getting those 60 frames. Never happening. You'll get it on Xbox before you get it on PC.
That'd be wild.
Imagine. Yeah.
No chance.
Like we want to put it on something else, but we're not giving you those extra 30 frames. Sorry. So you can only have it on Xbox.
Oh, dude, imagine they release it on PC and it's just like
It's just a
locked
30 frames. Yeah, just locked
Can't
30
do
frames.
anything about it. That'd be
Yeah.
hysterical.
PlayStation's PC ports have been notoriously trash so far.
Yeah.
It wouldn't
Yeah.
surprise me.
Yeah. I think the God of War one was good, but yeah, Last of Us wasn't great at all. Horizon was
Horizon was
terrible.
Atrocious.
Yeah, I had so many.
don't think-
I could not play that game, and I've got a really beefy PC, and I
don't
could
think-
not run that properly.
Ratchet and Clanks wasn't horrible, if I'm not mistaken.
I mean, that's Insomniac though. They're,
Built for
you
it.
know,
That
yeah.
game was built for an SSD. Let's be honest.
Yeah, that's true.
Anything to add on this, boys, before we move on?
Subscribe to everything, including my Xbox and me.
Yeah,
If you can
free
afford
subscription.
it, if you can afford it, yeah, subscribing on YouTube's free. Just saying. Just saying. Membership though, you know.
Yeah.
Go for it.
Do it. Do it.
Crash. It's that game. You are
Guess that game.
on this
yes.
week, my friend.
So if you guys do not know what Guess That Game is, it is the game show where one of us picks a game. We then allow the other contestants to ask questions, yes or no questions, in which I'm supposed to answer, and up to my discretion on what I believe to be correct or incorrect, right, Fix? Right? That's how it goes.
Yep.
So they might be aliens.
At they get a minute and a half, I believe, is the timer, correct? Yeah, a minute and a half to ask questions. At the end of that, they have to guess what the game is, and if they get it correct, they get a point. If not, they get nothing. Zip.
Speaking of points, Crash, we are currently sitting at Crash with 1 point, Matt with 0 points, D-Spawn with 0 points, and myself with 0 points. We're in on 1 week. I'm ready. I'm ready this week. I'm super
ready?
I am. I'm ready. Let's do this. When you're ready, man.
Okay.
When you're ready. You get that timer ready. I'm good to go.
Have you got your timer?
D-Spawn,
Have you
come
got your
Come on.
Wikipedia?
Come on.
All right, I do have the Wikipedia open.
Okay.
I have my
Can-
timer.
Can you look at it specific examples so I can see the reflection in your glasses, please?
That's if you guys got it off that, you guys would deserve it. I'm not even gonna lie. All right, are you guys ready?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh. Okay, you guys can only see yourself. It's fine. All right, go.
That's it. Who's first? Oh,
Fix. Okay.
Platform of choice.
Wait.
Platform, all right,
I
ready?
restarted it. Go, Fix.
Okay, cool. Xbox 360 generation.
Yes.
Exclusive.
No.
Sports title.
No.
Shooter.
No.
Action adventure.
Yes.
Capcom.
No.
Okay, publisher's got EA.
No.
Activision.
No.
Indie.
No.
Okay, big publisher. Good.
Multiplayer.
Yes. Yes.
Oh god. Oh god. Wait, we said shooter, right? Not a shooter.
Not a shooter.
No shooter.
Action adventure multiplayer.
Action adventure with multiplayer. Not
I said
exclusive.
Capcom. I need need the publisher. THQ.
Nope.
Bandai.
Nope.
Oh no.
It's happening again, Fix.
I don't know. I don't know what to ask. Female protagonist?
No.
Okay. PvP.
Yes, the multiplayer is PvP.
Okay.
Does it have a single player as well?
Yes. I gave too much information there.
Yeah.
I gave too much information.
All right,
it.
time up. Damn it.
I gave too much information.
It's
I
not
don't
a
think you did. I haven't got a
Nah.
clue.
I gave too much.
Right,
I
let's-
would guess this.
Let's
you
go for-
would,
okay, let's
because
go
you
for
know
Let's
it.
go for it. Let's go for
That's
it.
true.
Alright, let's go
It's
for it.
very
Let's
easy
go
for
for
me.
it.
It's very easy.
Eastbourne, go
Yeah.
through it with me. Talk to me.
So we got 360,
Yep.
not an exclusive,
Yep.
action adventure,
Okay.
male protagonist.
He didn't say that. He said not female.
It's the no, not female. Yeah, that's true. Not female protagonist then. Okay. PvP.
Well, it has single player as well, though.
And
He
it has
tried to
single
trick
player.
us.
Yeah, but the multiplayer is PvP.
Was there anything else we got, Crash, that we missed?
No, because you guys guessed a whole bunch of studios. That was
Yeah,
not.
there was not any of those.
Okay. I guess I'll write something down, right?
I'm gonna need you guys to like try and lock something in here.
Mate, I don't have a clue.
You guys will. Whew. Whew.
360 action adventure.
Yep.
Multiplayer. Was it multiplayer focused or?
Not
You-
answering. Not answering that. You're trying? You really?
I mean, we're gonna keep trying.
I
Right?
respect it. I respect that so much.
You said not female main protagonist as well.
Mm-hmm.
All I can think of is Tomb Raider. Like, that's what all that's in my head right now is Tomb Raider. I don't- I honestly-
I'm gonna need you guys to
Yeah,
I don't
I'm
know.
just trying to
gonna say
think.
Tomb Raider. I'm saying Tomb Raider.
Tomb Raider.
Obviously, it's
Okay.
not that. You know,
Despawn.
I don't know.
five.
I was gonna say Bulletstorm, but it's a shooter, so
No,
yeah.
no, it's Assassin's Creed Brotherhood.
We didn't say Ubisoft.
No,
It's
no,
Ubisoft.
you guys, you fixed. You said big studio, big publisher. No, Ubisoft.
How
Wow.
did we not say
If you guys got Ubisoft,
Bro,
you guys would have
we
opened it
have
open.
to
Yeah.
We have to lock in publisher. That has to be the first thing we lock in.
Yeah.
Also,
like
Well,
platform and publisher. Not. Oh,
action adventure, not a huge thing to like narrow down anything.
no.
Yeah,
Could have asked stealth. That would have closed it in.
yeah.
A couple of questions you guys could have asked that would have closed it in a bit. I think getting Ubisoft would have been huge.
Oh,
I think
Ubisoft would have
asking-
definitely led to Ubisoft would. Yeah. To be fair, would you? I mean, you just say Assassin's Creed, right? For the franchise. Yeah.
Yeah.
And again,
I'm so annoyed.
360. Yeah.
I'm so annoyed.
I blame Matt. I
Whatever.
blame Matt.
Let's jump into Fix This Sack, shall we? Let's answer some questions from the community. First one comes from a Wild Yarmy who says, with AGDQ, if people don't know what that is, that's what is the A actually? I only know GDQ. What's A stand for? Anyone know?
All.
No, it's games done
Oh.
quick. All games done quick, maybe? I don't know what it is. Just
Possibly.
let us know. Happening this week, January 14th to January 20th. Will you guys tune into any of the runs? But more importantly, I want to ask, any of my Xbox and Me crew picked up any tips or new ways to play from watching something like AGDQ and S? Oh, okay, so I think S is San Diego. Or
Austin?
a professional / amateur tournament. Could be Austin, possibly. Yes, I have. As you all know, I dabbled in speedrunning Resident Evil 2 remake for a little bit. Also, did a little bit of Resident Evil 3, but that was way too complicated. Yeah, and I learned that all from watching games done quickly. I think GDQ might be my favorite gaming thing
Event?
when it comes to events ever. Generally, I think the way that community gets behind each other, obviously, again, I've been in a lot of different gaming communities in my world. I've been around now for like 10 years, right? There is nothing like the speedrunning community because it's all about sharing what you've done and then improving on that. And we live in a world right now where obviously people are so secretive and people don't want to share tips and tricks. They pretend to, like we see all the YouTube videos like, yo, how to gain an audience, but they always hold back, right? The speedrunning community is not like that. Like I've spoken about it before. There's Bark and there's Catlink and
Orca.
Orch.
Is that what it
who
is?
I watch, who I watch. Both they're free Resident Evil speedrunners, and literally, you go in their chats, you ask them questions, they must hear the same question over. And why'd you do that? Why'd you do that? Why? And they must get so annoyed, but they never show it ever. It's just like, oh, you do this because it does this skip and da. Honestly, speedrunning, that community as a whole, shout out to you because it is remarkable what you guys do. And yes, I will be tuning in. I'll tune into the Resident Evil speedruns to see if anyone breaks some records because I find them absolutely fascinating. What about you, Crash? Oh, sorry, go on, Desmond.
No.
I was gonna say, are you gonna be excited to try a Resident Evil 4 speedrun? If you see any tips, no. Okay.
I think you said that you're not like that's not something you're interested in because it ruins the way you play the game, right?
Resident Evil 2 remake. I can't not play Resident Evil 2 remake now without stair skating and certain other elements of the game, which is just like it ruins as much as and you play that game, you speedrun the game so much that you become desensitized to it because you know where absolutely everything is. Like you're not gonna get jump scared by anything anymore because you know where it is, you know how to avoid it, you know how to dodge it because you're trying to save time. And not for me anymore. Maybe I would do it with a series that isn't beloved to my heart like that, but I don't think I'd ever do it with a Resident Evil game ever again.
Fair.
Yeah, but not interested, no, Crush?
No, I mean like speedrunning just isn't something that really like piques my interest to watch, and I'm kind of in the same path with you where if I find out something is faster, because I do it naturally when I play a game. If I find out rolling is faster than moving, I have to roll in that game. And that already ruins my experience. That if I were to watch a speed run for a game that I like, it's like, okay, if you like for Resident Evil 2, it's you aim, right? Like you're going up and down stairs or something like that.
Yep.
I wouldn't be able to go up and down stairs without aiming in that case.
Yeah.
Like it just can't do it.
I do it in other games now that I'm like just to check.
Just
It's
so bad.
It's so bad.
Yeah.
It's funny though because I watched like a Resident Evil speedrun during GDQ once, and then they did like a Earthworm Jim or something like that, and I did find myself getting just like super into it. We're like, this is really cool. It was like a 30-minute speedrun.
Yeah.
And you're like, you forget that like speedrunning is so weird because like you could have like a 30-minute speedrun or an hour speedrun or a 10-minute speedrun or a 3-hour speedrun of a game, but that's still a speedrun. Can you imagine trying to concentrate as hard as you can for 3 hours straight while trying to speedrun a game?
Yeah.
Nuts.
I remember like I'm not huge on speedrunning. I don't watch it. Like I don't really tune into any of the GDQs or anything like that. But I always love seeing the news stories when they pop up every now and again. Like the guy who discovered a Mario 64 exploit like 10 years after anyone else had given up looking for them. And that's shaved off like 15 minutes off the game and things like that. And it's just like, those news stories are so cool.
Did you see the new one about Tetris?
The 13-year-old dude.
The 13-year-old who completed Tetris?
Yeah, he's got the world record for completing it now.
Yeah. Nuts.
Wild.
Absolutely crazy.
I love it.
Absolutely crazy.
So that's the thing. I love these news again, and I think you said it perfectly there. Like it is the most wholesome kind of community because it is very much like you said. Like someone finds the exploit, they recreate it, and then they show the community how they did it. And then other people will bounce off that.
To be beaten.
Yeah. People will like, okay, that's cool. I'm going to use that, and then I'm going to try and do something else that makes it even quicker. And it's like, and then it just kind of snowballs, and the community just gets behind every single person that seems to do it.
Yeah,
it's awesome.
To be fair, it's also not something you can really like. You can't hide how you sped run something because you have to have it all documented to have the speed run. I'm not saying that they're not very
100%.
supportive and all that stuff. 100%. I'm not knocking like the community on that aspect. Just the fact is you can't hide anything. So like being that type of person doesn't benefit you at all. You're not keeping any secrets.
you can't hide anything. I agree with you, but you could. There's technique to some of these things, right?
Yeah,
and you don't have to share those techniques of how you do things. We've all seen the clip of Mizkif doing the speed up the stairs, and then I don't know the streamer he's with who does it really hard, right?
You do have to share it because
you
you
have to
don't
share the
explain.
technique?
Because if you don't explain how it's done, who's to say it's a legitimate run?
Okay,
You have to share everything. You can't not share
There are-
stuff.
I think there's like certain games like I think Resident Evil's a prime example because it has a timer built into the game. So like so there's no like you can't really cheat that. But so there are certain things like,
I know what you mean about submitting. Like I've submitted times of like the official speedrunning websites, which are mine just because I wanted to see where my run would
of
drop
course.
in there.
sit
Yeah.
feasible, you know.
Number one, always
yeah,
number one.
honestly,
We get it.
Yeah, number one in my heart, says my mum. But yeah, I honestly, I love GDQ, and I think they're fantastic. I'd love to go and be again. They've got the people behind. I'd love to like sit in the chair and usually people with a bunch of knowledge. I don't want to be someone with knowledge. I just want to go and be a cheerleader for something.
Just to watch.
I'd love to just be one of the people where they do like the big moment. Let's go, baby!
Yeah.
I think it would be so cool.
Just like pop it off like a wrestling match, and then they just
Exactly.
So yeah,
You want to be the color commentator?
yeah. I'd be there. Yeah. Oh my God, she broke Mario 64 in half.
Fix is gonna like if Fix were to do that, somebody would be close to breaking the world record, and Fix would start popping off and just ruin everything. Yeah.
I'm sorry. Anyway, moving on. Eldozo writes in and says, given the Dev Direct, and I appreciate that this may release after the Dev Direct, what do you think the release scheme will be for the games that have been announced to be there? Oh, that's a great question. So what have we got there? We've got Avowed, Indiana Jones.
Avowed, Indie, Ara, Hellblade.
Yep.
There the four main
I
ones.
think.
Was Contraband not on the cover? No,
No,
Contraband was
no
nowhere.
contraband. No contraband.
I
I
don't
think
think
Indie's coming this year.
I think Indie's coming this year. Hellblade we know is coming this year. I don't think it's
they
getting
all
pushed
come
back.
this-
Yeah, I think they're all this year.
Okay. So, I think. Oh God, now I'm getting stressed.
All right, I'll say it. So
Go on.
I think Ara's going to be first.
Okay.
I think that'll be like
Where?
March time, maybe.
Okay.
I think that could be
see
like
that.
I see that March. Then we've go on.
Do you think anything? So nothing drops February until March. Xbox has nothing.
I don't.
It still
Honestly,
fits with the one
the
quarter.
quarter.
Right?
100%. I was
yeah,
just.
yeah, I don't think they will have. I don't think unless, like I say, maybe Ara drops in Feb, but like no, I think better guess would be March. Then you've got Avowed, maybe June, July. I think we'll
I can see
get
that coming in June. Yeah.
Yeah, I think we'll get Indie maybe September, October time, and then Hellblade will be the big holiday push game.
You think so?
Mm-hmm.
Not indie for holiday.
We talked about it before. Like Indie's a weird IP nowadays. Like old people like it.
If Indie releases September, right, it does good. It still leaves it open for that big holiday push, right?
Yeah.
Where it's like,
Keyword
there's
there.
rumbling of it, whereas if you release it in November, and I think
It's bad.
I don't know, yeah,
Yeah, you release that and it's bad, and it's
don't-
just like,
I've got to say, I don't actually think it's going to be bad. I generally don't think the Indiana Jones
Machine
game
Games
is
is
going to be
fantastic,
bad. Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
I
I'm with you. I think
I
March,
think it's solid.
June, September, November, with a surprise release in January.
You think so? I think did they not come out and say there's
No.
definitely not going to? Yeah, I'm going to say.
No.
There's not going to be
that.
I think they
They
said
didn't
there's
say
no shadow
shadow
drop.
drop.
Yeah, there's no shadow drop. We're not getting any shadow drops
good.
this week.
Something could
good.
drop in January and it not be a shadow drop, Shout out
be
to
Feb.
Xbox, It could be
Final
Feb as well.
Yeah. Final Fantasy 7 remake. Do it. Go on, cowards.
I don't want to talk about it. Stop. No, moving on. Do you see I'm getting bantered? I'm getting bantered on Twitter by people, by the way.
Are you really?
Huh? What?
Yeah, Jez tweeted out if Final Fantasy 7 remake drops and 14 online, when those drop, you guys better effing support it or something like that.
Yeah.
And I got tagged by multiple people being like, "Oh, don't worry, MC Fixer will support it, and he'll buy everyone a pizza or some crap like that." I was like, "What the hell is this?"
I love that.
shit?
I love that.
How dare you guys? How dare you?
He's not wrong though. If those
Yeah.
games come out to Xbox, you better support them, especially those of you who like Final Fantasy, Xbox, etc., all those.
Oh, I'm 100% buying it. Like, even if it's on Game Pass, I'm buying that game. Like, I've completed it twice over. I will buy that game again. I love Final Fantasy 7 that much. I want it to do so well in this series. Ooh,
I would do anything for a remake.
Man,
Anything.
just anything. I just want my Final Fantasy 7 achievements. I don't want trophies. Trophies are meaningless.
Not the PlayStation fans are not.
No, PlayStation fans are meaningless. What?
Moving on. Jesus,
Quickly.
You're a fanboy. Little Smitty says, guys, with Microsoft announcing the AI key on the new Surface keyboards, do you see a world where we have an AI button on the Xbox controller that launches a AI chat tool? Would you use a feature like that? Interesting. I mean, AI is a powerful tool. We all know it. Like, whether some people like it, some people hate it, it is what it is. No, I don't think it would work on a controller, if I'm honest. I don't see the use for it.
I don't think there's a point. I think possibly you press the main Xbox button that opens up the dashboard or whatever, and then there'll be an option there to go to the AI chat box or whatever. I don't think there'll be a dedicated button to that.
No.
Right.
Yeah.
It has.
I mean,
I will say it's made my life so much better. I put ChatGPT on my phone. I don't even Google things anymore. I just ChatGPT it.
yeah.
Like, it's so. Oh, I can't believe little things like, since I've moved, I'm like sorting out heat and stuff like that. It's like, oh, what's the optimal temperature for a house? And it's like this, and I'm like, huh. It's crazy. Like, I know I could have got there through like a Google search, which
find a
probably more and
website.
more.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But the fact that it just gives me that information, I'm like, huh. I did ask about something the other day, and it was like, my database is not up to date on that. I'm like, God damn it. I need data up to date. Hurry up, man. Jesus.
Yeah. No, I wouldn't. I think I'm with Crash. I don't think we'll ever see a dedicated. Well, never see a button. Could possibly see it, because I know obviously like. Smith says here, they're introducing the AI button onto the Surface tablets. They've just announced that Copilot Pro is coming to an added subscription to Office 365 integration. So they are pushing hard on it. I could definitely see them down the line introducing some kind of AI option within Xbox. The issue is, and I think I'm a prime example of this, there is a lot of pushback within the gaming community around it. It's an interesting one, because I think over the last few years, especially since before like COVID, maybe the way that the community like looks at video game development has changed quite a bit, or at least the vocal minority have changed quite a bit on it. Whereas now they're being a lot more supportive of the devs, rather than just like, I want my day and date now, give me my date, when's it coming out? There's very much more of a case of like, we want the developers to have the time and the resources to be able to make their game without crunch and all this kind of stuff. And obviously there is a lot of pushback at the moment with AI in video games of like, is it going to lead to replacing jobs? We've seen like last year alone, we had over 10,000 people lose their jobs in the community, in the video game industry. I think January is on its way to beating that record at the moment. And it's like, there is a lot of concern around bringing AI into gaming. And like you said at the beginning though, it is a tool. And if it's a tool that is developed ethically and is used in that kind of aspect, then again, I've personally got no problems with that. But yeah, I don't see. Yeah, I think it's going to take a lot longer for gamers to adopt AI within their console specifically, and I think there would be a massive vocal pushback if Xbox turn around and says, "We're giving you an AI guide for all of your games." So, like, maybe you search up you bring up your achievement, and you can use the chat tool within that achievement window to search how to get it, that kind of thing. Because I know PlayStation did with PlayStation Plus, they have like video guides.
Yeah, I think they stopped that though.
Yeah,
because not enough people used it.
Not enough people use it, but I could see a lot more people using chat guides.
Yeah, what I will say is I think there's almost no chance Xbox doesn't do this within the next 2 years. Even a year, I'd be honest with you, because they're investing. Microsoft's investing so much into it.
Yeah. Again, I don't mind it being something that's additive. Don't force it down my throat. PlayStation did the same thing where they, in my opinion, they did it wrong. Where I don't need you to build a whole thing around it. Like just let it be.
Just have it be a side thing
Xbox,
that you can.
Xbox have built-in AI that can help you with your achievements if you want it. Boom. See ya.
Yeah.
Like I don't need anything more than that. So
yeah.
Yes. Last questions for this week's episode, boys. We got 3 from Origin Cookie Man. 2 of them I really like. So I might do both.
One of them sucks.
One of them. Xbox from Origin Cookie Man. Xbox currently offer Play Anywhere, licensing to allow a single game purchase from one Xbox marketplace to be available on all others additional.
Without an additional purchase.
Without an additional purchase. E.g., bought on Series S, play on PC for a relatively small number of titles. If they were to expand their Play Anywhere offering to all titles, how long do you think it would take for the rest of the industry to respond? Should this be how titles work in general, now that most online free-to-play games keep your progress in the cloud? No, that's not how business works. Don't get me wrong, I loved it since the day Xbox have announced it for their titles. Being able to buy something on Xbox and know you can play it on PC, fantastic. But no, it's just not. Look at GTA, right? Like GTA, I think is the perfect example of this. The reason, as much as they'll say it isn't, but the reason they are not releasing on PC day and day, it's not because of pirating, it's not because of anything, it's because they know they can get people to double dip. They know for a fact they can get people to buy the console version, play it through, enjoy it, smash it out, and then a year or 2 years later, we're going to buy it all over again. And ultimately, whether we like that or not, that is how a lot of game companies survive as well. I know, I don't think it's necessarily the right thing to do. Like I say, even like a FIFA, right? I think Ultimate Team should be a free-to-play mode. And then you put your money in EA points, then that's how they make their money. That's how it should be to me. But for a single player game, it's very, very different. And even like a multiplayer mode game is very different. But no, I don't think this will be something that expands everywhere. I think we're gonna see, and we're talking about again, is subscription services, right? You will subscribe to Ubisoft, and that will cover your console and PC, or you'll subscribe to Xbox, and it will cover the both. But I don't think you're gonna get a world where you buy a title on one platform and then you can play it anywhere you want.
No, I think go Crush.
I was gonna say that free-to-play games have the benefit of just the main game is free on everything, so it's easy to go over it. But then when you're dealing with like how much the currency you purchase, it's like the developer, the platform has to get a cut, and then a lot of times it's like, oh, you got that currency, but you bought it on PlayStation, so it's available on PlayStation. If you play on your Switch or your PC or whatever it is, it's not available. There's a lot of like convoluted steps with that wouldn't necessarily work with a single player game, right? Because you have to deal with like, how does the platform get its cut as opposed to the studio? If the studio's made games and they're the only ones who got a cut and it didn't matter about the platform, etc., I think you'd see this a lot more often because it incentivizes people to buy it, right?
Yeah, I think you put the nail on the head there. Is like, I think for Xbox it makes total sense. Like, they just want you to play their games. They're not bothered where you play it, as long as you purchase the game or purchase the subscription. But for the second party and the third party companies, they care. They want that money. So like, if you've got friends on Xbox and PlayStation, they want you buying that game twice. They don't care about giving you a better deal. They care about getting more money out of you. And yeah, the GTA is a prime example of that. Of like, yeah, they will wait 6 months to release the PC version. It'll look shinier and nicer and all that kind of stuff, but you will definitely buy it a second time. You will not get that as a free upgrade. The same with 100%. Like the Xbox Series X version, the PS5 version. You have to buy it again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We didn't get.
Yeah. from the Xbox.
I'm thinking about it from other. Yeah.
From the Xbox
No,
One to the
100%.
Series X, like the Series X version wasn't a free upgrade. It was just like
Well,
No.
you buy the bells and
That's-
whistles version.
that's a little bit more of a interesting conversation because some of those games did get like a significant amount more.
Yeah, they got a
into
lot of
them.
work done to the under the hood and stuff
Yeah.
like that. But yeah,
Yeah.
no, I don't see it being a wider thing at all ever.
No, me either. Last question here will come from Orange and Cookie Man as well. He says, after learning that Power World pals are wild creatures that are captured to do specific tasks at your base camp, e.g. chop trees, plant crops, / harvest, build structures, I've realized that there are many parallels between the Power World universe and the My Xbox and Me podcast universe. Which Power World creature do each of the podcast members most represent, and what is their specific skill or task? I'll tell you right now, I don't know any of the Power World creatures at this moment in time. I've gone blank on that game until the game comes out, so I can't.
The
say
yellow
that,
one.
But the yellow one. Yeah, I'm the red
I'll be
one.
the yellow one. Yeah, I'm the green one. Crash is obviously the blue one. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I will say, like, skill-wise, I'm the chopping tree person. That's what I love to do in games.
Okay.
You like, Rust, that was always my. Yo, we need wood. Yeah, I'll go get the wood. No, it's fine. Minecraft. Yeah, we got what we need wood. Yeah, I got that.
I got wood.
Like, I'll
See,
go get the wood.
The
Like,
easy
you're-
stuff to find.
So wait a minute.
The stuff you just
you're-
walk around and
Yeah.
see.
So yeah, destroy the local wildlife, get resources.
That's fix.
yeah.
exactly. That's me.
Okay,
That's
okay.
me. That's me.
So,
what about
yeah.
you guys? What's your
don't
go-to
know.
in those type of games? Like, what do you like to be like known for doing? Like, you usually like go off and everyone does
Yeah.
their
So-
thing.
and then they
what
come
is your
back.
thing?
So everybody's like cohesively working towards like building up the place. I'm ignoring that, building myself
That's
a little hut at the edge,
Yep.
and going out and doing whatever I want.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
me.
I hate it.
Yeah.
That is Chris.
But it's accurate.
I hate it.
It's accurate.
No,
That
you're-
is me.
You're 100% right, and I hate it. It does my head in. Chris, what are you up to? Oh, nothing. Don't worry about me, man.
Yeah, I'm good, man. I'm good.
I'm
man.
good. I don't
He's
need to
over
rock
there,
with what you're making. If you don't wanna
200
let me use it, I don't
diamonds
need
in a
to use it.
chest. It's fine.
Like,
Yeah.
like we're all trying to like get resources for the entire
I'm trying to have fun. You know,
Yeah.
I'm not.
entire.
Trying to live your best life out in this
I'm here
power
for-
world.
I'm here for a short time, not a long time. I'm out here for fun, baby.
Is it for a good time, not a long time? Yeah.
Yeah,
I think I'm the opposite of Crash. I'm the one like building everything for everyone. So like, oh, you need an axe? I've got you 4 axes here. You need a sword? Here you go. I'll build. You don't need it, but here's a shield. You know what? It's fine. Here, have some new pants that I've made.
Yeah.
I've built a farm out back, and now we've got sheep for days. It's all good. I'm that kind of guy.
I would come through when nobody's around and steal the wool that I need or whatever it is.
Yeah, but you see,
That
what
is
would
correct.
Back away.
No.
Where's the, we had 1,700 wool in here. Where is it all gone? I don't know.
Crash walks in a
was-
wool suit.
I was out exploring, mate. I don't know what you're on
Yeah.
about.
But you see, the thing is, I'm the kind of guy who'd be like, well, I know Crash is going to steal all our wool, so I'll make extra wool for everyone. It's fine.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that makes sense. That makes
Yeah.
sense. How will that
He
Friday,
spawns carrying
guys?
us, you know.
That's it. I'm the resource carrying guy. Fix
Oh,
brings me
Friday,
the
I'm
wood.
excited.
Yeah, I'm excited to shoot Pikachu in the face.
I've heard not horrible things about the game, which I take as very positive. You know.
Not horrible things.
Well, there was a very real possibility that this game would just get dumpstered on. When it
Oh
came
yeah,
out,
this
right?
could be. Yeah, this is very
Yeah.
possible that this could be a dumpster fire, as you say. But yeah, no, like, hey, if this is
People
good,
saying there's something enjoyable there for early access game. I think like a good sign.
Find out Friday.
Yeah.
I officially move into my new place Friday. I guess I'll be streaming from my living room,
Ooh.
playing Power World.
Let's go.
Wait,
I'm done.
it's multiplayer, right?
Yeah.
Saturday stream.
We should talk. We'll talk. Boys, let's plug, and get ourselves out of here. Crash, what you got to plug this week on the My Xbox podcast, my friend?
The My Xbox and Me TikTok account. We got a lot of TikToks going up there. If you are on TikTok and you use the platform constantly and you want a sneak peek or a peek at what we do for the podcast before you listen to it, that's a great place to see all that stuff.
Absolutely. Yeah, we're currently sitting at 179 followers. Help us get to 1,000. I want 1,000.
Yeah.
That's always my goal in life is 1,000. I'm excited with the TikToks, you know. Like there's a lot of new people that are interacting with the content, which I absolutely love. And it's just been fun to do them. I'm looking forward to doing more than what we're currently doing with just the clips. But yeah, no, I totally agree with you, Crash. It's a great platform to go and check out. So please do. Eastbourne, we got to plug this week.
I want you all to give us your money. Go to patreon.com/MCFixer. Go support us at the My Xbox and Me tier. Just help us make all of the cool shit that we want to make this year. We got
our memberships.
Our membership, yes.
Whether you don't care, maybe you're not interested in Patreon. We would all prefer Patreon because you get the biggest cut. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you guys and pretend that it's not. But yeah, Patreon's big. But also, if you're already in the YouTube ecosystem and you're like, oh, this is a lot easier for me, memberships, you get the exact same thing as you would over on the Patreon. And you can do it through YouTube. So yes, we would appreciate the money. Honestly, you're like you said, Despawn. Got a lot of cool things planned ahead for the year, and I'm looking forward to doing them. Would there be a pajama party? Maybe, possibly.
I do want pajamas.
Yeah, I'm gonna promote My Xbox and Me Extra. Obviously, it's our brand new podcast, a little bit more laid back, a little bit less structured, just us talking about video games, what we've been playing, what we've been doing, going off on 101 different tangents here, there, and everywhere. So if you haven't checked out episode 1 and 2, go and check them out. We'll be recording episode 3 real soon, so check that out. It's on the podcast feed. If you think it shouldn't be on this podcast feed and you think it should go on a separate one, let me know. Always open to feedback. But yeah, just let me know if you're happy with the extra episodes coming on Sundays. Again, guys, appreciate you guys. Until next time, we will love ya, leave ya, and see you all later. Goodbyes.